Welcome back to the channel, guys. For those of you who know me in real life as opposed to just via the internet, you will realise why there has been a little bit of disruption in the recording schedule. Some of you with eagle eyes might notice that that wall over there looks different to the wall in the last video, and that's because we have relocated, so moved house. Garage has come with me, and as such it's been a little bit of a kind of disruption, but we are back on this car now, aiming to put together the last finishing touches. So I'm going to start this video by a little bit of what's in the box. So I had a couple of parcels come through from Toto at Fiat 500. A lot of you will know his name from this channel because I shout him out quite a lot. He supplies a load of nice parts. A lot of you will also know him personally. In fact, he might even be watching. So let's look and see what goodies he has sent. And he's not a channel sponsor or anything. These are not freebies. I buy these parts off him because the quality of his bits is good. So I have a set of wheel hubcap retaining bolts. I do have another set somewhere, but God knows where they've gone. I lost them a long time ago in varying garage moves or house moves or rearrangements or whatever. But now that I've bought these, I can guarantee that I will find them again, probably within the space of sort of half an hour of having unwrapped this. But these are good because one of the things that I am going to be doing soon is, don't think I can tilt the camera down quite that far, is painting these wheels body colour, and I've got a brand new set of hubcaps to go on there. So made a real schoolboy error there. Somehow I managed to turn the camera off midway through what I was saying. What I was saying is that I was going to do those, mount those hubcaps, and that now that I've got these, this is the second set that I've got, I will inevitably immediately find the first set that I lost. Again, I didn't record, even though I was talking as if I was recording, the opening of the second packet from Toto, which are a set of these bumper brackets. Now Toto is a bit of a gent, and he actually sent me these just for the cost of postage because they came off a car that he was restoring, and that's really kind of him for doing that, because the ones that were originally on this car were completely and utterly shot and beyond repair, and so just kind of helping me out with a few little parts like that, doing me a few favours, just kind of sums the man up. He's a really nice guy, and it's kind of saved the project, killing me a nickel and dime at a time. The second package that I've got through is from Mark at Motor Bambino. You may have noticed I do tend to spend my money around the sort of different suppliers that we've got in the UK for parts, and that's mainly because I like to you know, share the wealth, and also because people have different things in at different times, and you know, some people are a bit more competitive on prices for certain things than others. So this is, or rather this looks like a massive box. However, it's large because it's got one or two large things in it rather than loads and loads of different things. And again, these are parts that are just required to get a bit closer to the finishing line on this little green car, so that we can get it out on the road and start putting some miles on it. So now I've successfully smashed my way into this. Let's see what we have actually got, because this arrived before I moved house, and to be honest, I've kind of forgotten what it was I actually ordered. Okay, yeah, this brings back some memories. So I was able to reuse the inner, or they're not actually in matched pairs, so I was able to use one of the set of original door frame surrounds, trims, whatever you want to refer to them as, and I used them on the inside of the car there, but the outer ones, or the other two that I was going to use on the outside, were absolutely goosed, and so therefore I've got a replacement set. Now, one of the fellas on the club has asked me to do a little how-to video on fitting these, because they can be a little bit of a faff, so I may well hold off on fitting them until I can get around to getting a camera on them. Now, these I think are just bits of packing material. I have been known to accidentally bin things that I've bought from varying places in the past, thinking that they're packing material, so it's always worth a double check. And then we have in here another little box, which I think, if I remember, the main bit that should be in here. Yes, that's right. So one, I tried to reuse the headlights that came with the car, and I had some spare headlamps, but I'd kind of run out of decent spare headlamps, and so therefore I now have a decent headlamp to go on there, and I can reuse the chrome trim off the one that I initially fitted that I was not happy with. So again, I'll just pop that in the little box of bits. I've then got to go with the bumper mounts, sadly not freebies, some of the gaskets that go against the car, just to stop it scratching and trim it off nicely. And again, I've got a set of these are for the wiper arms, so you might have noticed earlier on in the video you can see the wipers, but there's no blades on them, there's no arms on them, and that's because I didn't have these little fittings for them. And I have here as well, which you can see, these are the rivets. Try and get that focus on there. These are the rivets that go on the quarter light windows. So I replaced, again, I can't honestly remember whether I did a video on this or not, the quarter light windows, the surround of the inner part of the window was rotted through, and so I got off a fellow club member a set of decent glass with decent chrome surrounds, and I fitted those, but I didn't have, if you look over there, I didn't have any rivets in there, so the rivets go through there and hold them in, and I'll do that on both sides just to finish them off nicely. Okay, so that is all of the parts, and go around the back and maybe try and sort of fit a few things. I'm hoping I'll be able to chuck a bumper on the back tonight before I run out of time. So just taking a little look at the back of the car, going to try and stick this bumper on here now. These are not actually the correct size coach bolts, but they'll do for the moment for holding it in place. So the way it goes together is you have a bolt that runs through there. As I say, that should be an M10 coach bolt that will sit in there. That is going to spin freely for the moment, which is not ideal, but I'll still be able to get it down tight enough for the purpose of today. And the bracket just slides over there, so we have the hole in place, and then you have the rubber gasket that sits on there, and obviously kind of sits between there, and then quite simply you can tighten it up from behind here either from the top or from underneath. So I'm gonna just drop this in place, and then we'll have a little look at what the rear looks like with a bumper on, because it looks a little bit better without it. There you go, short but sweet. It's on, it's mounted nicely. I've now just got to put the rear lights off. All the wiring at the back of the car is done, but I'm going to save wiring those lights up and fitting them till I finish the wiring on the rest of the car. I have also fitted these on where the wipers go on the spindles there. Haven't yet fitted the washers, and I also haven't fitted any of the lights at the front, but I will do that in a different video. So flip that round there, and just to say, you know, if you haven't given up on the channel in the last sort of 3 weeks and you're still hanging around waiting for a video, you're subscribed, then like, thanks for that, that's great. If you're new to the channel, I can assure you that I do tend to put out content a little bit more regularly than I have done over the past few weeks, and you should see quite a lot going on with this project, because we're right at the tail end of getting this one on the road. If you've just picked up on this, there is a playlist entitled 69 or 70 Fiat 500F restoration, and you'll be able to see this go from the red rotten car that arrived from Sicily a few years ago to what you see before you now, which is a much closer to a finished product. Where I've moved house, I'm also now very close to where I had the Ford shoebox stored, so as soon as this goes out the door, all of the content is going to be based on Ford shoebox stuff. So we'll be back to V8s, we'll be back to hot rodding, we'll be back to customizing and things like that. So thanks for watching. Please drop a like, please drop a subscribe, or any sort of comments. Till the next time, take care, bye bye.